Hi there, my name is Jack Domidio, and I'm a fourth-year PhD student in the German department at Penn State. My dissertation is entitled The Philosophy of Secrecy in Kleist, Droste-Hülshoff, and Kafka. While my dissertation is still in its beginning stages, I have established the overall focus of my research along with the specific works that I'll be focusing on. I'll be discussing three primary works of literature from the German canon, those being Michael Kohlhaas by Heinrich von Kleist, Die Judenbuche by Annette von Droste-Hülshoff, and Der Prozess by Franz Kafka. The overall conceptual focus of my research has to do with secrecy and the ethical ramifications of secrecy in these works of literature. In view of these three concepts, literature, philosophy, and secrecy, this presentation will be a short overview of these three questions. What is secrecy? What does that have to do with literature and philosophy? And how does the intersection of these concepts provide novel insight into modern-day issues? Secrecy is a very broad concept, and secrets are present in all kinds of institutions. A person can obviously keep a secret to themselves, and that secret can be shared with others. Businesses can have secrets, like patents or recipes, and governments are institutions of secrecy insofar as their power is determined by how well they can hide their vulnerabilities. One of the first social theorists to discuss secrecy was Georg Simmel, who gives a definition of secrecy as the concealing of realities carried out through positive or negative means. The picture on the right shows a book burning in the Third Reich. This is a negative act of concealing realities in that these people are eliminating sources of information that were seen as dangerous to the Third Reich. We can see through the example of book burning that secrecy also has to do with censorship. So while on the one hand, we have a book burning as a negative act of the concealing of realities, we can understand a positive concealing of realities as the information that is offered in the news, which always leaves something out, even by seemingly telling us everything we need to know. It is my contention that all literature presents a form of secrecy. The structure of all narratives relies on the reader's desire to discover the secret of the story. Some works of literature, like Sherlock Holmes, center on a particular secret, the secret being an unsolved crime. The form of a secret can also be a very basic philosophical principle, which is the fact that we can never know the inner lives of others. The stories we tell each other in real life are ways of letting others understand who we are on the inside. And literature can be seen as the textual form of that. So it's my idea that knowing what a story is about is to know its secret. Knowing what a story is about is highly subjective, just as the stories we tell each other as expressions of our own personal secrets are liable to subjective interpretation by others. While Kant cannot be said to be a theorist of the secret, he does discuss secrecy in his book, The Metaphysics of Morals. He says that in practical, ethical life, the fact that we can share our secrets with other people constitutes the phenomenon of friendship, being a reciprocal love and respect for other human beings. Our relationship to other people is thus constituted through how open we are with them in sharing our secrets. In the section on secrecy at the end of the book, Kant calls moral friendship the total trust of two persons in the reciprocal revelation of their secret judgments and feelings. He goes on to say that we have a responsibility to modulate who we share our secrets with, and that we should not be permitted to blindly put our trust in others. We risk our personal reputation and safety when we are not careful about what we share. Unlike Kant, Jacques Derrida frequently wrote about secrecy in his works. He maintained that we all have a kind of secret within us, which is the secret of ourselves as the self that we cannot see but are responsible for accounting for. I will primarily work with Kant and Derrida, but I will also discuss Hegel, Heidegger, and others. Secrecy has become more and more of an issue in contemporary politics and in industry. As personal information becomes more public, the ways that this information can be used and misused have multiplied. Social media companies rely on our personal information to sell advertising, and governments frequently use the personal information people willingly make public against them. It seems that today nothing is much of a secret anymore, especially with the dawn of AI language models, which can give us an answer to just about anything. As information takes over our lives, it also suppresses our innermost selves. Because public life and the economy have become so reliant on personal data, our lives have adapted to living in the realm of abstracted secrets that are proper to no one. In reflection of the philosophy and literature in the body of my dissertation, I will conclude with a discussion of the ways in which we can be authentic human beings in the social media age. I'd like to thank Dr. Samuel Frederick, my advisor, as well as my dissertation committee for their advice and support. I'd also like to thank the graduate students in my department, as well as in other departments, for the discussions we've had about my research and the inspiration they give me. And I'd like to thank my department for the funding they provided in many different ways towards my education and research. Thank you very much.